At 3 a.m., he wasn't supposed to be there, but when the disguised chef walked into the kitchen and saw her cutting meat all alone, he discovered the heartbreaking truth she hid for years. Stay till the end, and don't forget to subscribe to USA Drama 2.0 for more life-changing stories. Ethan Morgan was known as the silent shadow of Morgan Estate. Though born into a wealthy family, he refused to act like it. Instead of simply owning restaurants, he preferred working inside them, learning how things function from the bottom up. Tonight, he was doing something unusual, walking into his restaurant kitchen at 3 a.m., wearing a plain hoodie and jeans. No one recognized him at this hour. He wanted to observe the night staff without anyone knowing the owner was around. It helped him understand who truly cared about their work. But when he turned the corner into the prep kitchen, he stopped. There she was, the new cook, her name tag read Liana. She worked silently, slicing fresh meat with skilled, steady hands. The entire kitchen was spotless. Not a single wasted motion. Not a moment of laziness. Her eyes were focused, brows slightly narrowed, as though every cut carried a purpose far deeper than cooking. Ethan leaned against the doorframe, watching her. She didn't see him yet. Why was she here at 3 a.m.? No shift started this early. No order was due. Something about her calm determination struck him. And he had a feeling. There was a story behind it. "You're here early," Ethan finally said, stepping forward. Liana didn't jump or panic. She simply paused, looked up, and nodded politely. "Morning shift prep," she said softly. "Someone has to get it done." "That usually starts at 7 a.m., Ethan replied with a raised brow. She hesitated, just for a moment, before returning to the slicing board. "I like getting ahead," she said. "Helps the team." Ethan studied her carefully. She wore a uniform that was a little older than the rest. Her shoes were slightly worn, and she looked tired, not from lack of sleep, but from years of pushing herself harder than anyone else. "You're new here," Ethan said gently. "Where did you learn to cook like that?" Liana gave a small smile. "Not in school, if that's what you're asking." "Why not?" The question slipped out before he could stop it. She gave no answer. Instead, she sliced another perfect cut of meat. For the rest of the week, Ethan kept his identity hidden while observing Liana quietly. Filled circle she arrived before everyone. Filled circle she cleaned more than she cooked. Filled circle she never complained. Filled circle she never took leftovers home. Filled circle she refused tips. And she always left exactly when her shift ended, almost as if she had someplace extremely important to be. The mystery deepened. His staff eventually noticed his nightly visits and whispered among themselves. But he ignored them. One night, as Liana wiped the stainless steel counters, he asked again. "Why didn't you go to college?" Her cloth froze mid-wipe. Her breath hitched. Then she whispered, "Some of us don't get to choose our dreams." Ethan didn't push further, but he wanted to know. Not for gossip, not for curiosity, but because her eyes carried a weight he had seen only a few times in his life. The revelation came unexpectedly. Ethan followed her one evening, not out of disrespect, but because she rushed out of the restaurant like something urgent depended on her. She walked quickly through quieter city streets until reaching a small apartment building. Inside, a soft glow came from one window. Ethan hesitated, then he saw her through the window, placing groceries on the table, cooking a simple meal, and feeding. A woman in a wheelchair. Her hands were trembling, her smile was gentle but weak. Liana knelt beside her, adjusting a blanket around her shoulders. "Mom, I'm here, I brought your medicine." Her mother reached out, cupping her face with tired eyes. "You work too much, sweetheart, and I will keep working," Liana replied softly, "as long as you need me." Ethan felt his chest tighten. That was why she skipped college. That was why she worked at 3 a.m. That was why she never wasted a moment. She was the only caregiver her mother had. Ethan didn't approach her that night. He returned to the restaurant with a changed heart. The next morning, he came to work in a suit, his real identity revealed. He walked straight up to Liana. She froze when she saw how differently he was dressed. Yes, he said softly. "I'm the owner." Her eyes widened with surprise, then worry. "If I broke a rule?" "No," he interrupted. "You didn't break anything." Silence. Then he added, "I know why you're here at 3 a.m. Her face drained of color. "You followed me. I wanted to understand," he said gently. "And now I do." Her hands trembled. "I don't want pity," she whispered. "You won't get pity from me," Ethan replied. "But you will get support." That afternoon, Ethan gathered his management team. "I want to create a new program," he announced. "Flexible hours, higher pay for early prep cooks, and full support for employees caring for family. His managers exchanged impressed looks. Some even smiled. Then he turned to Liana. "You will lead it," he said quietly. "Me," she whispered in disbelief. "You already do the work of 3 people," Ethan replied. "It's time the world sees it." Her eyes filled with emotion she tried hard to hide. "I don't have a degree," she murmured. "You have something better," he said. "You have heart." Over the next few months, Liana transformed. She wasn't just the cook who worked quietly at night. She was the heart of the kitchen. Filled circles she trained new staff. Filled circles she organized prep schedules. Filled circles she created recipes that customers loved. Filled circles she balanced work and caring for her mother with new flexibility. Ethan watched her grow, not because he felt obligated, but because he admired her. And Liana finally felt seen, not for what she lacked, but for what she carried inside. One evening, after closing, Ethan found her cleaning the same counter he saw on the first night. Still working hard, he teased. "Old habits," she smiled. He stepped closer. "You know," he said softly, "your story reminds me that strength doesn't come from college degrees, it comes from choices." Liana lowered her eyes shyly. "You changed my life," she whispered. "No," he replied, "you changed your own. I just helped open the doors." She smiled, not the tired, forced one he once saw, but a true smile filled with hope. And for the first time in her life, Liana believed she had a future she could choose. Liana didn't go to college because life demanded she sacrifice her dreams. But life also brought someone who saw her worth, not in what she lacked but in what she gave. And sometimes, that makes all the difference in the world.